Acquire a peaceful spirit, and around you thousands will be saved. These are the words of Saint Seraphim of Sarov. The theme of this reflection is asceticism and evangelism, and I will consider the story of Jesus and the Samaritan woman from this angle. By the way, the Samaritan woman has a name. She is Saint Photina. It is noon. Jesus sits by the well. He is hot, tired, and hungry. The disciples go to get provisions. Jesus sees a woman come to draw water. He asks for a drink. Observe that Photina never offers him a drink, and that when the disciples return and suggest that he eat, Jesus turns down food. He has other reasons for requesting a drink from Photina. The most obvious reason Photina would come for water at noon is that she is shunned by the women of her village. She is living a disreputable life. Jesus can observe this, and Photina knows that Jesus suspects this. Then Jesus asks for water, not because he is thirsty, but because he has living water to share with her. Photina is suspicious of his intentions and says something like this: "What's up, buddy? A pious Jew like you would never ask a Samaritan woman for a drink." Certainly not Photina, and certainly not when they were alone together. They talk. Photina's responses at the beginning are sarcastic and dismissive, but she gradually comes to the conclusion that this guy has something real to share with her, living water. Jesus says, "Come back with your husband, and we'll talk some more." Now this was a sign both of respect for her and for social standards of propriety. Jesus knows she has no husband. As God, he knows the hearts of men. But as an ascetic human being, he is able to discern the truth about her and treat her with a delicate respect for her needs and her feelings. Jesus, as man, is not enslaved to the passions as the rest of us are. Tired, hungry, hot, and thirsty, he is wholly attentive to the situation and the person before him. Jesus is able to save Photina in spite of everything in her experience and in spite of everything that separates them, precisely because he fasts. We see this power to save in the great ascetic fathers and mothers who have truly put on Christ. Saint Seraphim of Sarov is a good example of this. He truly acquired peace, and thousands around him drank the living water that welled up from deep within. There are people like Photina all around us. Do we see them for who they are? Can we be attentive to them in a way that manifests the living water within us, the fountain of immortality from which we drink every Sunday? People are looking for the real thing, and they have experienced enough empty words and hypocrisy. There is much more to the story, but let's skip to the end. The disciples return with food and encourage Jesus to eat. And he refuses, saying, "I have food to eat of which you do not know. My food is to do the will of the one who sent me, and to finish his work. I tell you, look up and see the fields are ripe for the harvest." And yes, today the fields are ripe for the harvest. Let me close by quoting what they say of Saint Seraphim. Many thousands of people from all walks of life and conditions began to visit the elder now, who enriched them from his spiritual treasures, which he had acquired by many years of efforts. Everyone saw Saint Seraphim as meek, joyful, thoughtful, and sincere. He greeted all with the words, "My joy, Christ is risen. No matter who came to him, seraphim bowed to the ground before all, and in blessing kissed their hands. He did not need visitors to tell about themselves, as he could see what each visitor had on his soul. If we acquire these spiritual treasures, our world will be transformed, like that village in Samaria, where Christ encountered Saint Photina, her family, her friends, and her neighbors. Let us pray for these treasures and work for them.